SuperTalk Mississippi media production. It's time to talk about dogs.
Bulldogs have won it.
Talkin Dawgs, that is, with Robbie Faulk, right here on SuperTalk 100.9.
This is Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk here on SuperTalk 100.9 in the Golden Triangle, supertalk.fm, and the SuperTalk app. Thank you, folks, for joining me as we are getting closer and closer to Christmas. The holiday season is here. There's a lot of excitement around Christmas, a lot of joy around Christmas, a lot of excitement around bowl season and the playoffs. And guess what? Mississippi State is going to be able to participate in that. There's a lot of people scoffing about a 5-7 Mississippi State team going to the Duke's Mayo Bowl. If you're a Mississippi State fan, who cares? You're making it to a bowl game. You get another month to get ready for next season. This is going to be beneficial. So if you got an Ole Miss fan out there that's down on this bowl game, who cares? Enjoy it. Have fun. It's the holiday season. You guys should have fun as well. We got plenty to talk about here on this show. The bowl game part of that, as Mississippi State kind of got surprising news on Sunday with the announcement that they would be participating in the Duke's Mayo Bowl, going head-to-head with 8-4 Wake Forest. That should be a good ball game over in Charlotte, North Carolina. Looking forward to that. We're going to break down that ball game, obviously, and also some absolutely massive, surprising, bombshell, whatever you want to use, news coming on Saturday. Zach Arnett is back in Starkville as the defensive coordinator for Mississippi State and Jeff Lebby. So we're going to go deep into that also. And I was in Starkville over the weekend, taking part, following, covering the state championships. 7 ball games at Davis-Wade Stadium, and most of them were absolute bangers. It was an incredible weekend of high school football there at Davis-Wade Stadium. All 7 games were, for the most part, really competitive. We saw some great players. We saw some great finishes in that game. Some teams taking home the trophy for the first time in school history in that game. And we'll hear from, a couple of people about East Webster. How about right down the road from Starkville, the East Webster Wolverines bringing home the first state championship in school history. We'll hear from Ron Price and the MVP of that ball game, LaKendrick Potts, who was dynamic in that game, leading the Wolverines to a state title over the Heidelberg Oilers. Everybody said that Heidelberg was going to sweep through 2A. They were going to roll to another state championship, and East Webster, kind of the underdog in that ball game, comes out and proves them wrong. Really great ball game there on Saturday. One of the greatest endings in Mississippi high school state championship history happened after that on Saturday night with Tupelo and Gulfport. We'll dive into that ball game. Gulfport, the new kings of 7A. There's just so much going on, folks. The football season has come to an end, but there is so much continuing to roll on. Mississippi State basketball is now the full focus, which I don't know if Mississippi State fans are ready to focus on Mississippi State basketball at this point. Chris Jans has his hands full with this Bulldog basketball team. They are absolutely struggling right now. And now you have star guard Josh Hubbard, who could potentially be out for a long period of time with an ankle injury. That's something that we have to watch as well. But it's been a very tough start for Chris Jans, who's been very good his first 3 seasons. This year is looking like it could be a little bit of a disaster for Chris Jans. But, he's got his hands full the rest of the year. But how about Sam Purcell and the Bulldog women's basketball team off to a 9-1 start? They really seem to be gaining some steam now as they get ready to go into SEC play. A lot of new faces for both these men's and women's basketball teams. But right now it looks like Sam Purcell has kind of figured some things out with his team. They got a tough schedule in SEC play that's coming up after the new year. But it definitely looks like a team that's starting to kind of mesh a little bit. They're figuring out their roles. The freshmen, Madison Francis and Jayla Lampley, are strong right now. I like what I've seen from Favor Wadozie, who came in here, transferred in here in the post, and is playing some really good basketball. So the women have gotten off to a really good start, 9-1. Very easily could be 10-0 had they been able to take care of business at Texas Tech. So shout out to them. There's just so much going on, folks, and we have a lot of show to talk about. I cannot wait to continue to talk about the Bulldogs and to talk about high school sports, and we will do that when we get back from a break. Zach Arnett back in Starkville. That's going to be our focus when we get back from our commercial break. This is Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk here on Super Talk 100.9.
At Bank Oklahoma, we treat our customers like neighbors, and usually they are. You're more than just an account number. At Bank Oklahoma, you have a name, a family, and hopes and dreams for your financial future. I'm Hunter Robertson at Bank Oklahoma in Bruce. We'd love to earn your business and help you reach your financial goals. Come see me or call 662-983-3700. Bank Oklahoma, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Looking for quality and convenience? Matheson Hardware and Building Supply has you covered. We deliver lumber, roofing, doors, windows, and more straight to your job site. And check out our full line of Milwaukee battery-powered tools, plus plumbing, electrical, and Valspar paints for every project. And now we're your local source for guns, ammo, and so much more. For over 100 years, Matheson Hardware has been built on a legacy of customer service you can trust. Go find them at 281 Scott Avenue in Matheson, Mississippi, or call them today at 662-263-4583.
Power up your convenience with the 4County mobile app. Managing your electric account has never been easier. With our free mobile app, you can view your bill, balance, and account details, report outages, track restoration progress, and make secure payments online. Stay informed by scheduling alerts and reminders for important account updates. Whether you're at home or on the go, the 4County app puts control in your hands. Download the app today and experience the power of convenience.
Hey, this is William Wells. When you drop your vehicle off with us, you can trust us with our ASC certified technician. We'll take care of everything you need. Brakes, struts, shocks, alignments, check engine light, tune-up, tire sensor, tires, everything. Stop by any of our 3 locations in Starkville, West Point, and Columbus, and let our team give you the championship service you deserve.
Hello, I'm Lee Burrell, proudly serving Oktibbeha County. The Citizens Bank has been serving our community for over 116 years, and I'm proud to be part of this vital community bank. With over 22 years of financial experience in commercial, mortgage, and consumer lending, I'm here to help with all your loan and deposit needs. Call me at 662-323-1420 or stop by my office located at 201 Highway 12 and say hello. I'm looking forward to meeting and talking with you soon. The Citizens Bank, www.thecitizensvilla.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to Talkin Dawgs on Super Talk 100.9.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk back here on Super Talk Mississippi, Super Talk 100.9, the Golden Triangle. And I want to remind you, too, we also have the podcast that goes out a little bit after this show airs every single Wednesday morning. You can find this on your podcast app. You just go subscribe to that podcast, either on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. It'll be delivered straight to your phone every single Wednesday. So make sure that you are locked in right there. You don't have to listen to this on the radio every single week, although I love appointment listening for you guys that do that, but you can listen to me whenever you want to. So go download Talkin Dawgs today. I want to talk about one of our first sponsors that we have here today, and he was a guy that was with me from day one, Jess Brantley and his Alpha Insurance Agency, the team over there in West Point. They are incredible. You can find Jess at 36 South 4th Street in West Point. He will be there anytime you need him. And like I always say, we're in that time this year where the deer are roaming. You're riding down those back roads. Heck, I hit a deer on Highway 25 on the highway. Absolutely demolished this thing on the highway a couple years ago coming back from a basketball game. I couldn't even drive my truck. I had to get that thing towed. Alpha gave me a car, got me a tow, and took care of me immediately. I sent a message about 10 o'clock that night, and Alpha took care of me. That's what Jess and his company will do over there in West Point. You can call them today at 662-494-4142 and get that Alpha Insurance bundle. It'll help you save a lot of money on your insurance. You save money, and you have a great representative there for you. That's Alpha Insurance, Jess Brantley Agency. All right, so the big news coming out Saturday morning. I finally get a day where I can just sleep in a little bit, waking up early every morning, taking my kid to school or working. You know, it was a busy week last week with signing day with Mississippi State. I just had a lot of stuff going on. But, you know, we kept our members informed over there at Maroon and White Daily. Come check us out on On3, the network over there. We are growing tremendously. We're well over 1 million page views over there, and we're not even 10 days into we are 10 days now into the new year. State fans are absolutely locked in right now. But you got to come check us out over there. We reported earlier last week Coleman Hutzler was going to be let go by Jeff Lebby. He would not be returning as the defensive coordinator for Mississippi State. We reported to you that DJ Durkin was Mississippi State's top target at the beginning of this process. Jeff Lebby shot his shot with DJ Durkin. He wanted to bring in the Auburn defensive coordinator as his next DC, and I firmly believe that Durkin was very interested in the position. The same can be said for former Virginia Tech head coach Brent Pry. The Bulldogs went after him as well. Jeff Lebby his value on this hire was going after an established defensive coordinator that has done it in the Power Four and that has been very successful. So he went after two of the best that were available. DJ Durkin, there was some questions as to whether or not he would be returning to Alex Galesh's staff at Auburn, and I think that was still kind of up in the air. Had he not been brought back by Galesh, had Galesh wanted to look elsewhere, I firmly believe that Mississippi State probably hires DJ Durkin. I think that they had a very competitive offer on the table. I think that they had the funds available that were very enticing. But at the end of the day, Durkin and his family were not ready to move again. They've moved a lot over the last few years. He was at Florida. He was at Ole Miss for a couple of seasons. He went to Texas A&M for a season, I believe, and then he's been at Auburn now. His family's ready to settle. They're ready to stay somewhere and be still for a little bit, and he's happy at Auburn. So the opportunity to stay at Auburn was obviously, that was number one for him, and if he had that opportunity, he was going to stay at Auburn, and that's what happened. So you tip your hat, and it was a great run by Jeff Lebby trying to get DJ Durkin, but it just wasn't feasible for him to move, and it was the same thing for Brent Pry. As you see, Brent Pry is now staying on at Virginia Tech. How many times do you see a fired head coach go from head coach one season to defensive coordinator the next at that same school? Never. You never see it. So Brent Pry is great friends with James Franklin. Franklin comes in after Pry has been fired midseason. And Pry is the same way as DJ Durkin. He and his family wanted to stay where they were. So these coaches now, they're making enough money. They're happy financially. Now they're trying to please their family. Now they're trying to be there for their family and do what they feel is right for their wives and kids. And I cannot fault them for that. So it was a great run by Jeff Lebby. But after that, you're looking at what is the best fit for Mississippi State to get back to where they were defensively. And Zach Arnett pops in as a possibility, a guy that is, he and his family, you talk about loving where you're at and liking where you're at. They absolutely loved Starkville, Mississippi. They were here for 4 years. Actually, they were here for 5 years, if you consider the fact that they were still living in Starkville when Arnett was an analyst for Ole Miss in the 2024 season. So they absolutely loved it here. Did not want to move, but obviously, Zach had to work. So they end up moving. I believe they were in Tallahassee last year with Florida State. But Arnett was interested in returning. Jeff Lebby knew that Zach Arnett had been very successful here defensively. And you look at his first 3 years, 2020 through 2022, as Mississippi State's defensive coordinator, the Bulldogs had a fierce identity. They were very tough and physical on defense. They were attacking on defense. These are things that this Mississippi State fan base has been missing for the last 2 years with Coleman Hutzler's defense. This defense was softer than what they saw under Zach Arnett. They were not attacking. They had 30 sacks in 24 games. That was last in the SEC. They had one of the worst seasons that we've seen in modern football times at Mississippi State last season defensively. And then this defense in the last 4 games was kind of moving in that direction. So the Bulldogs were looking for a guy that would bring an identity, that toughness, that physicality that Mississippi State has been known for defensively. Zach Arnett checks those boxes. So as strange as it is, and you look at how this thing ended for Arnett, as strange as all of it is, this is a great fit for the Bulldogs. And if you're a Mississippi State fan that you're a little jaded by this pickup, I totally get it. If you look at it through the lens of, as a whole, Zach Arnett, how things ended at Mississippi State, it's a little scary for you. I totally understand that side of things. Zach Arnett, when he left, the program was in disarray. The program was in absolute disarray. The recruiting had not been good. He leaves in the middle of a 5-win season after being promoted to head coach. You have to look at Zach Arnett as a defensive coordinator and not as the head coach of Mississippi State. That's the only way to look at this. Because Zach Arnett, the defensive coordinator, was very successful. Zach Arnett, the defensive coordinator, brought Mississippi State its identity back on defense that had been missing even prior to that for a season. So Arnett, as a defensive coordinator, is not equal to Arnett as a head coach. He lost his own identity when he was a head coach. He's walking around the sidelines. He's got his arms crossed. He didn't have that fiery persona anymore. He had a lot of people in his ears telling him what he needed to do, and he had no idea how to be a head coach. He had never done it before, and he was just thrust into it. But Arnett as a defensive coordinator, that is a totally different animal. And I'm very interested to see how this works out. Now, there's a few things that have to happen for Mississippi State for this to be really successful. They're going to have to evaluate and recruit better than they did when Arnett was here. And, a lot of that had to do with the fact that the GMs and the off-the-field personnel that was here when Arnett was here. There were a lot of people making decisions in that room that, quite frankly, just were not very good. And those people have moved on elsewhere. You also have more money and more resources now than you did back from 2020 to 2023. That's just the facts. Mississippi State is in a better position financially, in a better position from an administration standpoint than they were at that point. So that's your hope, is that this looks different as far as the talent acquisition is concerned. From a scheme standpoint, from a coaching standpoint, development standpoint, Zach Arnett has been really good. He's been really good. I'm not concerned about that, but State's got to get talent in here. He has some talent on this defense, and I wrote about this yesterday on Maroon and White Daily. If you come subscribe, you can read that article, almost 2,000 words, kind of breaking down where Mississippi State is from a roster standpoint on the defensive side. But they're in really good shape. He is inheriting a very good linebacker room. They got more depth. They have more talent than they had when he left. So we'll see how it goes. It's an interesting story to see Zach Arnett go from fired head coach at Mississippi State to 3 years later coming back and running Mississippi State's defense. But I think that he loves it here. I think that he fits the culture at Mississippi State as well as anybody that's been here since Joe Lee Dunn. He is a great fit for the Bulldogs, and we'll see, if it works out for him again this second time around. All right, when we get back, Mississippi State is going bowling. Will Zach Arnett be on the sidelines for that? Will he be a part of this thing? I'll talk about that when we get back. This is Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk here on SuperTalk 100.9.
Hello, I'm Lee Burrell, proudly serving Tibahaw County. The Citizens Bank has been serving our community for over 116 years, and I'm proud to be part of this vital community bank. With over 22 years of financial experience in commercial, mortgage, and consumer lending, I'm here to help with all your loan and deposit needs. Call me at 662-323-1420 or stop by my office located at 201 Highway 12 and say hello. I'm looking forward to meeting and talking with you soon. The Citizens Bank, www.thecitizensvilla.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The newest evolution of Farmall elevates performance, comfort, and styling to continue the legacy of this legendary tractor. The new Farmall Medium Utility C-Series features 4 models that combine power and technology for use on the farm and in the field. FieldOps connectivity enables geolocation and remote monitoring of machine functions, while a heavy-duty front axle, increased hydraulic flow, and more rear lift capacity provide the power to handle more work with ease. Case IH, built by farmers. Stop by H&R AgriPower at 841 South Frontage Road in Columbus today to find out more about the all-new Farmall C.
Fork County Electric Power Association has spent more than 85 years working to improve the quality of life of all we touch. And that's why we created the Fork County Foundation. Thanks to the generosity of Fork County member owners, the foundation has awarded more than $2.5 million to organizations that support the communities we serve. If you have a 501c3 organization that helps improve the lives of Fork County members, visit forkcounty.org and see if the Fork County Foundation can help you.
Looking for quality and convenience? Matheson Hardware and Building Supply has you covered. We deliver lumber, roofing, doors, windows, and more straight to your job site. And check out our full line of Milwaukee battery-powered tools, plus plumbing, electrical, and Valspar paints for every project. And now we're your local source for guns, ammo, and so much more. For over 100 years, Matheson Hardware has been built on a legacy of customer service you can trust. Go find them at 281 Scott Avenue in Matheson, Mississippi, or call them today at 662-263-4583.
Find a friend in the banking business at Bank Oklahoma and take that friend with you using Bank Oklahoma mobile banking. Manage your accounts, make deposits, payments, and transfers anywhere and anytime. Bank Oklahoma offers small town feel with big city convenience and the personalized attention you deserve. I'm Joy Faulkner at Bank Oklahoma. Better together, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Talkin Dawgs on SuperTalk 100.9.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk back here on SuperTalk. Thank you, folks, for joining me again on this Wednesday. It is the weather outside is a little frightful. It's chilly. It's been a little muggy the last few days, but you can go down there. This is the time to get involved in your honey-do list and your projects and things like that. You can go down Highway 82 and find Matheson Hardware and Building Supply in Matheson, Mississippi, and that will take care of everything that you need for those projects. If your wife has you wanting to, if she got poured the grease down the drain and got that clogged up, I've had that happen to me a couple of times. They have something there for you, whether it's plumbing, whether it's if you're building a house, you got projects around your house, you're painting, they have Valspar paint there. They got the tools that you need. This is the place to go. And you think about having that hometown feel to it, this is it. The building's been there for over 100 years. Brad Huffman, Ted Dewitt, they've taken over this business and made it better than ever. Matheson Hardware and Building Supply, you can find them over in Matheson on Scott Avenue, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays, 7 a.m. to noon. Go check them out today. You can also call them at 662-263-4583. All right, so Mississippi State is bowl bound. And, a lot of people, like I said, they've scoffed at that. And what I say to that is if you're a Mississippi State fan, you should have no shame in going to this bowl. If they're going to give you an opportunity to go to a bowl, take it all day long. Were some of you upset about Mississippi State winning that bowl game in 2020? I wasn't. That was an extra win on the schedule. This is an opportunity for Mississippi State to, let's just talk about, first of all, the opportunity to practice for another month. The practice time that they're going to get is going to be invaluable. The opportunity to get more game reps for some of these younger players. And on top of that, you got a chance to get a sixth win. And you get a sixth win against another Power 4 team, a team in Wake Forest that's going 8-4 this season. And also, you get a chance to dump a bucket of mayo on top of Jeff Lebby if you win the ball game. How could you not be excited about this? Charlotte, North Carolina, it's a great city. If you're a Mississippi State fan and you have the means, you should go to this game on January 2nd over to Bank of America Stadium. So you've got to go check this game out. I think it's a great opportunity. And if you're a State fan, why should you be upset about this? Don't let anybody make you feel guilty about this, because you get to play another game, you get a full month of practice, and you get to see Kamario Taylor one more time. This game's going to be primetime ESPN, Duke's Mayo Bowl at 7 p.m. Central on January 2nd, day after New Year's. It's a great opportunity for State. This is a really good bowl game. You're playing a solid Wake Forest team. I mean, this team has been solid pretty much all year long. They lost by a point to Georgia Tech earlier this year, finished 4-4 in the ACC. The ACC was not great this year, but they have a couple of teams in there that are solid. But she had an overtime loss to Georgia Tech. You beat Virginia, who was playing for a conference championship, was fighting for the playoffs. This is a team that will be a really good challenge for State, and this is a great springboard opportunity going into 2026. And we talked about this on Thunder and Lightning, which, by the way, if you don't listen to Thunder and Lightning, I don't know if you're a State fan. I don't know what you're doing. Thunder and Lightning is the go-to podcast on Mississippi State sports. You can hear it 5 days a week. Myself and Brian Haydad from SuperTalk Mississippi. You can go download that today and listen to it every single day during the week. But we talked about this the other day. Very reminiscent to 2013. If you look back at 2013, the only difference is Mississippi State didn't win the Egg Bowl to get bowl eligible with the 6th win, at least get bowl eligible by the traditional terms. But that team was 5-6 going into the Egg Bowl. They had an exciting young quarterback that everybody was clamoring for in Dak Prescott. You get bowl eligible. You go to the Liberty Bowl. Dak Prescott absolutely lit that thing up. And Mississippi State went into 2014 with a ton of momentum. They returned a lot of players from that team the previous year. Dak Prescott was off and running. He led Mississippi State to number 1 in the country. I'm not saying State's about to be number 1 in the country in 2026, but I think there's a lot of similarities here. State goes to a bowl game when they didn't know if they would make it. They're really happy to be there. They play hard. They set records in that bowl game against Rice to win the Liberty Bowl, and they were off and running. The hype machine was rolling on Dak Prescott going into 2014. The Bulldogs were kind of a dark horse team fighting for a national championship. Again, I don't think that on the surface this team next year is a national title team, but I do think that Mississippi State in 2026 has a chance to take a major jump, and to do that, this is an opportunity to get that momentum rolling. The biggest thing that comes from this is the full month that you get basically to practice. State's about to get about 3 or 4 weeks of practice in, and you're about to get a ton of first-team reps for Kamario Taylor, which he hasn't gotten until the last couple of weeks. He got 2 full weeks of it heading into the Egg Bowl, and now you're essentially getting another month on top of it. That is invaluable to get that for Kamario Taylor because he has a chance to be very special. The more reps he gets in this offense, the better. And heading into his sophomore campaign, it could be a special year. But on top of that, he gets to continue to take those reps with his teammates, get the timing down with his wide receivers, Brennan Thompson, Anthony Evans, Seto Traore, his running backs, his offensive linemen. This is going to be very big for Mississippi State to get this opportunity. And then going into the ball game with Wake Forest, it's just 4 more quarters of Mississippi State football. It's invaluable for Mississippi State to get this. If you have this opportunity to go to a bowl game, you take it all day. I don't even understand people turning it down. I really don't. I know that there's a lot of people out there that call bowls meaningless. Maybe I've had that thought a time or two. But for a team like Mississippi State, it's not meaningless at all. It's another chance to get better going in next year. And here's another thing that people aren't considering when they talk about this game for Mississippi State. There's people that are coming after Mississippi State players. It happens every year. It's not just a this year thing. If you think Kamario Taylor isn't getting tampered with at this point by other schools within this conference, by teams within this state, if you don't think that's happened, then you're just naive at this point. Because it's happened, it's happening. Now, I don't expect Kamario Taylor to transfer. I think he's fully locked in with Mississippi State. I think they are going to lock him into a nice NIL deal. But that's just one example. There's tons of players on this roster that are getting that same treatment. And the more time that you have them in your building, on the practice field, around teammates, the better. The better opportunity that you have to continue to keep that roster together, to build the relationships, to make sure that you retain this roster and to transfer it from year 1, year 2, into year 3, because there's a lot of players that are now going to be in year 3 of Jeff Lebby's system. That makes a difference. And that's what Jeff Lebby's trying to do. He's trying to build his team up to where when he gets into year 3, everybody knows what their job is. Everybody's locked in. They've been in this offensive system for a long time, and they're humming at a level that they haven't been able to do. Because retention, I feel like, is still a very, very big part of college football. So those are reasons why I think Mississippi State had to accept this bid. And that, listen, they've been talking all year. Since the end of last year, their goal was to get to a bowl game. I know they didn't do it with 6 wins, and that's disappointing, obviously. But at the same time, that's your goal. You have it in front of you, go take it. And they have an opportunity now to play in a bowl game. And I promise you, these players are not going to take that for granted. They are excited about it. And we've seen some of them tweet out about it. And they've been talking all year about fighting for a bowl. Now they have an opportunity. We'll see if they can seize this opportunity and beat a good team in Wake Forest. 8-4 on the season, 4-4 in ACC play. They got a dynamic quarterback and Robbie Ashford, who State fans have seen before at Auburn. He is a heck of a running quarterback. He's thrown for over 2,000 yards this year. That's not going to be his strong point in this game. He's going to be a running quarterback, and he rushed for over 500 yards this year. So that's going to be their game plan. They're going to try to run the football against a defense that's really struggled against it this year. So that's going to be a challenge. You know, all the excitement around Kamario Taylor in this offense, Mississippi State's got to figure out a way to slow down Wake Forest and what they do running the football to have a chance. And we'll see if they're able to do that. So Mississippi State, Wake Forest in the Dukes Mayo Bowl in Charlotte, North Carolina, January 2nd, 7 p.m. on ESPN. This should be a fun one. We'll be there covering it all and hope to see you guys there as well. All right, we're going to take another break, and when we get back, we're breaking down the state championship games in Starkville, what we saw at Davis Wade Stadium. It was a great weekend of high school football. We'll break it all down when we come back. This is Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk here on SuperTalk 100.9.
Bank Okolona is committed to the communities we serve. We offer the small town feel with big city convenience and give you the personalized attention you deserve. Come see me, Gene Childs, Community Bank President in Houston and Manatee. We have locations in Aberdeen, Bruce, Houston, Manatee, Okolona, and Tupelo. Bank Okolona, where we are better together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Landowners, are you ready to turn your timber into real value? At Good Hope Land and Timber, we specialize in helping landowners like you make smart, sustainable decisions. Whether you're planting a final harvest, thinning a stand, development thinning, or managing your forest long-term, our experienced team is here to guide you every step of the way. We're trained in the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and follow best management practices to protect your land and maximize your return. Call me, Jake Moody, at 601-416-6266. Good Hope Land and Timber, locally trusted, landowner approved.
Hey, this is William Wells. When you drop your vehicle off with us, you can trust us with our ASC certified technician. We'll take care of everything you need. Brakes, struts, shocks, alignments, check engine light, tune-up, tire sensor, tires, everything. Stop by any of our 3 locations in Starkville, West Point, and Columbus, and let our team give you the championship service you deserve.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need equipment that's built to deliver. That's why H&R AgriPower in Columbus, Mississippi is proud to announce we now carry Kubota hay tools and the powerful M7 series tractors. From cutting and baling to hauling and harvesting, Kubota's hay and forage lineup delivers unmatched performance and reliability in the field. Come see us today at H&R AgriPower, your new Kubota hay tools and M7 series tractors dealer, right here in Columbus.
Hello, I'm Lee Burrell, proudly serving Talkin County. The Citizens Bank has been serving our community for over 116 years, and I'm proud to be part of this vital community bank. With over 22 years of financial experience in commercial, mortgage, and consumer lending, I'm here to help with all your loan and deposit needs. Call me at 662-323-1420 or stop by my office located at 201 Highway 12 and say hello. I'm looking forward to meeting and talking with you soon. The Citizens Bank, www.thecitizensvilla.com, member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk is back here on Super Talk Mississippi and Super Talk 100.9, specifically in the Golden Triangle. Thank you guys for tuning in once again for another great week of Talkin Dawgs. And what we always do on here, the Starkville Daily Whip Around, where we bring you high school football action. We'll transition into basketball probably next, as we have a lot of exciting basketball coming your way. But we have been locked in on high school football since this thing got rolling. Or it's hard to believe we have been rolling since the start of the season. We went through an entire football season on this show, and I'm still employed somehow. How about that? So, exciting times. We had a ball this past weekend over in at Davis Wade Stadium in Starkville, Mississippi. It was an absolute blast covering these games, 1A through 7A. We saw some great ones. It started off on Thursday. I got a chance to call the Calhoun City and Simmons game on French Camp's WFCA 107.9. It was just a miserable ball game in terms of the weather. It was about 40 degrees, rain the entire game. These are two teams that like to run the football, and it was just it was a slug. I'm not going to lie. It was a slug of a game. But Calhoun City moves down to 1A this year, and they were kind of the favorite most of the season. They finished the year 13-1, and they were dominant in a lot of the season. This game, I think the weather evened the playing field a little bit because there were 7 turnovers in this ball game between these two teams. It was brutal in that regard, but the Calhoun City found a way. Their defense was just fantastic, just absolutely smothered Simmons throughout this ball game. Simmons has been a regular in the state championship game. They won 3 straight state championships from 2015 to 17, I believe. And they've just been, one of the teams to beat in that classification. But Calhoun City comes out on top in this one, 14-8, just a slug of the game. But congratulations to MD Jennings and company over there at Calhoun City. MD Jennings has done a fantastic job as the head coach, and that school is losing some numbers. They've dropped down from 2A to 1A, but the football program remains so healthy, and basketball is really good over there too. Just a great athletic department that they have that starts kind of with the coaching that they have over there at Calhoun City. Later that night, this was the surprise to me of the entire weekend. Brookhaven versus West Point. Now, I've been beating the drum for West Point all year. The team to beat in 5A. I didn't know who was going to be able to touch them. Nobody in the North for sure. I knew nobody in the North was going to be able to beat this team. But Brookhaven, man, West Point had a 19-10 lead in the first half, and really Brookhaven had kind of handed them a couple of scores because of fumbles. They had fumbled the football a couple of times. A big muffed punt there at the end of the first half led to a touchdown. I felt like that was a killer play for Brookhaven that put West Point up 19-10, and it felt like from there they were going to take control of that ball game. But Brookhaven in that second half was unbelievable. The third quarter, they scored 21 unanswered points. And really the death knell in the game, they take the lead in the third on their second touchdown. And then Quentin Thompson, who was I think the offensive player of the year in 5A, he throws a pick six in the shadow of his own end zone. Brookhaven is rolling 31-19, and West Point never got off the mat. And I thought what the difference in this ball game was the lines of scrimmage. Brookhaven was just dominant up front in this one. And so I give a ton of credit to Brookhaven, a great program down there in South Mississippi. They've been in the mix, haven't won a ton of state championships, but, man, hat tip to them. I thought that they just outplayed West Point in this ballgame. They were the more physical team, and you never see that for West Point, being out-physicaled. But that's what happened in this ballgame, and they were able to come home with a state championship. So congratulations to Brookhaven there. And 4A, this game was fantastic. Columbia versus Kosciuszko, 2 great defenses. Coach Bilderback has come back to Columbia. His wife, obviously, Missy, is the head coach at Southern Miss. They come back to Hattiesburg area, and he's back at Columbia, won a state championship there. and went to a state title a couple years ago as well. He was fantastic this year. You look at what Columbia did; they go undefeated. But this game was a defensive slugfest over at Davis Wade Stadium. The two teams combined for 0 points for most of the game, and it was just a back-and-forth battle as the game went on. And with 15 seconds left, a 6-yard touchdown wins this ball game for Columbia, 6-0. I don't know how many times I've seen that in the state championship game, but Columbia wins this thing 6-0. Heartbreak City for Kosciuszko. What a year for Casey Orr and Kosciuszko, the Whippets. Their defense was one of the best in 4A all season long. They have a super exciting young quarterback in Caden Wade, and I just give a lot of credit to both defenses in this game. Kosciuszko was so close to winning that state championship. Such a proud program there in Kosciuszko. They come up short, but they're not done, folks. They're returning a lot of players. Next season, Caden Wade is back. They're going to be returning some defensive players as well. Casey Orr and company, they are not done. They will be back, but congratulations on the 4A title for Columbia. Really cool story here. Warren Central comes to the state championship. We know that with West Point, you have Brett Morgan, the head coach there, the longtime offensive coordinator for West Point, promoted to head coach last year, won a state championship, had a chance to win another one this year. He had two brothers play for a state or coach for a state title as well on Saturday or Friday night. Warren Central playing Hattiesburg. Hattiesburg back-to-back state title appearances. They lost head coach Tony Vance, but they get right back in the mix this year. Warren Central's had a magical season with Josh Morgan and obviously offensive coordinator Rob Morgan. So the three Morgan brothers all coached in state championships at Davis Wade Stadium. They all played for Mississippi State as well. How cool is that? Those coaches got a chance to do that. And I thought Josh Morgan, man, what a season for him. 56-34, Warren Central knocks out Hattiesburg to win it. Nash Morgan was the story of this thing. 9 of 10 for 127 yards and a touchdown, 17 carries, 184 yards, and 3 TDs. He scored 4 touchdowns. Everybody was talking about this kid at Mississippi State this week. But also, what a game from the quarterback, Gavin Ducksworth, from Hattiesburg. 28 of 39 for 444 yards, 4 touchdowns in this ball game. But they just come up short. I thought Warren Central, what they did offensively, they were just a tougher team. They had 111 yards rushing from the running back, 360 yards on the ground from them, and 7 touchdowns. They just dominated the line of scrimmage on the offensive side of the ball. Major hat tip to Josh Morgan. He won a state championship as a player under his father back in 1994, I think. And now he gets a chance to do it as a coach. I tell you one thing, Warren Central football means everything to the Morgans, and they mean everything to Warren Central. So this was awesome. I don't know if there's a family that's more connected to a school than the Morgans have been to Warren Central. So just a really, really cool deal there for them to be able to win a state championship. We're talking about one more game, and then we'll go to the break and come back and talk a little more. Noxubee County and Raleigh. Noxubee County under Teddy Young, they've been to now 6 state championships in 7 years, has Noxubee County, and they've lost all 6. I mean, they just cannot get over the hump here, and they lose this one 12-6 to Raleigh. Raleigh led the ballgame 12-0 in the first half, and it kind of flipped in the second half. Noxubee had begun to get a little bit of momentum. Jaden Taylor got him in the end zone in the third quarter to make it 12-6. Their defense gets a stop in the fourth quarter. They get the ball back with an opportunity to go win the ball game. And Jaden Taylor has the ball on the 5-yard line. He got stopped short of a first down with a chance to go win the game. I talked to him post-game, and he said, you know what, I just wanted the ball in my hands. I wanted the ball in my hands for the last play to have a chance to go win it. I was going to either win or lose based on what I did, and I appreciate that from Jaden Taylor. He's now coming to Mississippi State to play with his older brother, Kamario Taylor. The mindset that those two have is just different. They are built different, and they have a vision for Mississippi State. They feel like something special. is coming to Starkville. We'll see if they can do it. When we come back, we're going to close the show by talking about that Saturday that we saw. We started with Knoxville and Raleigh. 3 incredible ball games. We'll talk to head coach Ron Price from East Webster when we get back, and also LaKendrick Potts, and talk about a wild ending with Tupelo and Gulfport. All that coming your way when we get back from the break. This is Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9.
Looking to complete those tough jobs and don't have the right equipment? Let H&R AgriPower in Columbus help you out. We now offer Kubota's mini excavators, track loaders, and L-Series tractors available for rent. You can also rent attachments like our cutter heads, grapples, post hole diggers, and more. Give H&R AgriPower a call for daily, weekly, and monthly rental rates. Stop by your hometown dealer today. Visit us at our new location, located at 841 South Frontage Road in Columbus.
Power up your convenience with the 4-County mobile app. Managing your electric account has never been easier. With our free mobile app, you can view your bill, balance, and account details, report outages, track restoration progress, and make secure payments online. Stay informed by scheduling alerts and reminders for important account updates. Whether you're at home or on the go, the 4-County app puts control in your hands. Download the app today and experience the power of convenience.
Hey, this is William Wells. When you drop your vehicle off with us, you can trust us with our ASC certified technician. We'll take care of everything you need. Brakes, struts, shocks, alignments, check engine light, tune-up, tire sensor, tires, everything. Stop by any of our 3 locations in Starkville, West Point, and Columbus, and let our team give you the championship service you deserve.
Looking to get the most out of your land? Trust the experts at Good Hope Land and Timber, your full-service land and timber company with years of experience in forestry and land management. From land and timber purchasing, timber management, plantation thinning, and development harvesting, our team handles it all, safely, efficiently, and sustainably. Our experienced logging force is trained to the highest standards under the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and best management practices. Call me, Jake Moody, at 601-416-6266. Good Hope Land and Timber, locally trusted, landowner approved.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk is back here on SuperTalk 100.9 in the Golden Triangle. I want to thank Matheson Hardware and Jess Brantley for sponsoring us. Go check them out this week if you get a chance. And before we get out of here, I wanted to close out with a couple of more games that we witnessed. I was calling East Webster and Heidelberg on the radio for 107.1 in Louisville. And what a game. You know, Heidelberg came into this game. They were the clear favorite by everybody in the state of Mississippi, but I've watched East Webster all year, and I've told you guys on here, do not count this East Webster team out. They have a 2-quarterback system that worked really well with Cooper Stidham and Cross Avent. They have playmakers like LaKendrick Potts and R.T. Moy. They had one of the best defenses in the state in 2A, and they come out of this thing with a 28-16 win. Unbelievable ball game. And before we go, I want you guys to hear from Ron Price and LaKendrick Potts on how that thing transpired. Here's Coach Price.
Coach, just incredible. You got everybody, you said the other day, everybody crowned them preseason. You come out here, you guys never doubted yourselves. What do you think about this game, how it turned out?
I'm just so proud that we're finally putting the gold ball in that trophy case, and it's shaped like a football. These kids have been unbelievable, man. I can't praise them enough.
What can you say about Cross to go make that play? I know that wasn't the play call to go take off and run, but that's just a playmaker going to make a play right there.
Early in the game, he made some plays and looked like a sophomore. When it mattered the most, he made the play of the year for the East Webster Wolverines. Cooper and Cross all year have made this football team what they are. We needed them tonight. Like I said, he made some bonehead plays early in the game, but he made up for it there, and we're so thankful.
Talk about the defense, and they've been there for you all year long. While Heidelberg was able to kind of slow y'all down offensively, the defense was able to maintain. What'd you think of that?
Our defense has been unbelievable all year, man. Jason Smith, I don't know that he slept any this week stressing about this ball game. He told the kids after we kicked it off, why did I stress? Because I know y'all had my back. Our defense has had our back this whole entire season. They're an unbelievable group of kids. They believe in playing East Webster defense. That's just hard-nosed football. They knew they had their hands full with a challenge tonight, but they answered that challenge all night long.
You talked to me last week. East Webster has a championship in just about everything, and this has been the one thing y'all haven't won. What's it mean to bring home a title to the school for the first time?
The state championship trophy case is right across from my classroom. I look at it every single day, and I've dreamed about putting a Go football in that trophy case, and Monday it becomes a reality.
Trust my quarterback, he was good. We had a good night. LaKendrick Potts here had a huge game, Kenny, and it seemed like they didn't have a lot of respect for you. They're running man-on-man press coverage with you, and you just kept beating them play after play. I mean, just what'd you think of the game plan and how you executed it today?
Coming out, we were looking forward, we weren't looking forward for them to be manning me. So, when we got here and they manned me, we took advantage of that all night.
It seemed like that was the game plan y'all didn't try to establish the run or anything, just kind of chunking it down the field.
Hey, we said, we had a game plan early this week in film. If they man me, we're going to try it all night. Just put the ball in front of me. And I went out and executed.
You guys have been so good as a program, but you haven't been able to do this. What's it mean for you to bring a state championship to East Webster?
Feel proud, My pops, my uncle, my grandma, my granddaddy all had a chance at I'm the one that brought it home. It feels good to me. Very emotional. Don't want to cry, but good.
All right, that was Coach Price and LaKendrick Potts. Congratulations. LaKendrick Potts was incredible in this ball game. 7 catches, 191 yards, and 2 touchdowns. They kept running man coverage on him, and he just kept exploiting it. He was phenomenal in this game. Cross Avent, I think, he had a coming-out party, 3 touchdown passes and 158 yards. Had the game-winning run, a 28-yard run on 4th and 13 to put this game away in the fourth quarter. Had a 4th and 20 conversion for a touchdown. Cooper Stidham, the quarterback, made some great plays, extending the plays, 163 yards passing for him. Man, congrats to this East Webster team. First ever state championship in school history. They've won it in just about every sport. It's such a great place. They got so many great kids, great people over there, and they've been good at everything. And they've been good at football. They just have not been able to win the big one. They finally were able to do it. Before we go to Tupelo, and what about the Tupelo and Gulfport game, by the way? If you watch that thing, unbelievable. 2 Mississippi State running back signees in that ball game. Cooper Crosby from Gulfport, J.J. Hill from Tupelo. Crosby rushed for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. J.J. Hill 133 and 2 touchdowns. And Hill scored with 20 seconds left to take a 20-14 lead. They missed the extra point. Gulfport drives down the field. They have a chance for one more play. And how about the quarterback, Parker Nettles, throwing a 33-yard Hail Mary that fell into the hands of his receiver, Mylan Stubbs, for the touchdown. Unbelievable finish. Gulfport is your kings of 7A. So, man, what a year. What a year of high school football. It ended at Davis Wade Stadium in a great way, and I could not be more happy to have another great season of high school sports. I couldn't be more happy to have another great Talkin Dawgs, and I want to thank you guys for being along for the ride. We will see you next week. This has been Robbie Faulk. This has been Talkin Dawgs, and we will catch you down the road.
You've been listening to Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk.
Mississippi State with a victory here.
Listen each Wednesday at 9 a.m. on SuperTalk 100.9.
Don't you know I'm gonna make it with my friends? I promised myself I'd get by. Said I'm gonna try it with them too hard.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.